जलशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So, we are having this series of six Goswamis, and today we'll be talking about Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So, there is very less information available about Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and I'll explain as well why. But whatever information is available, we'll try to discuss that through. So, we'll start with a journey of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, we all know that Mother Sachi asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that if you, after taking a sannyas, if you want to stay somewhere, then please stay at Jagannath Puri and make Jagannath Puri as your base. Because that way, she was very confident that she will get some news about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because there are a lot of devotees from Navadvip keep going to Jagannath Puri. And from Jagannath Puri also a lot of people come to Navadvip, because Navadvip was very famous for education. So that way, Mother Sachi asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to make Jagannath Puri as base. So after going to the Jagannath Puri, very briefly, enough time to deliver Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided that he wants to go for a tour of South India. So he departed. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Lord Chaitanya went to many places in South India, and started distributing the ecstatic love for Krishna. We all know that wherever Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, just by looking at him, just by having his darshan, just by looking at him and hearing his kirtan, people were getting ecstasy and they were getting a Krishna prema. So, like this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Kurukshetra, he went to Vishakhapatnam, Simhachalam, at the Godavari River near Rajmandri, and there he met Ramananda Rai, and he had that historical conversation for many nights. And then he went to Ahobilam, Mangalagiri, and so many holy places. Then he went to Kanchipuram, Tirupati, and then ultimately to Sri Rangam. So when he arrived at Sri Rangam, at that time, the monsoon rainy season started. So even now as well, the India is very much follows the season, unlike our Auckland, where in one day we can get three different seasons. So even in previous times, 500 years ago, it was much scheduled. So during a rainy season, there is a tradition that a sannyasi who is traveling, he will not travel anymore. He will just be at that place during Chaturmasya. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to be at Ranganath temple. There he was dancing in ecstasy and worshipping Lord Sri Ranganath Swami. Many people were coming to see the beauty of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there was one great devotee. His name was Venkat Bhatta. When Venkat Bhatta saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he requested him that please be my guest and please give me an opportunity to serve you. Now, Venkat Bhatta was one of the lead pujari of Ranganath, and he invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted his invitation, and went to his home. As soon as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to his home, he gave a very nice welcome. He welcomed Lord Chaitanya with garland, and he washed the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when he was washing the feet, he had few family members present there as well. Now, he had two brothers, Tirumala Bhatta and Prabodhananda Saraswati, and he had one little son of 7 years old. His name was Gopal. This later on became Gopala Bhatta Goswami. So, after washing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet, he distributed the Charnamrut to all his family members. All the family members drank this. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami, then Gopal, also drank this Charnamrita. And as soon as he drank this Charnamrita, he was incessantly crying. And he couldn't understand why this is happening. But at the same time, ecstatic love was awakened in his heart just by drinking this Charnamrita. And then he surrendered himself to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his heart. And Venkata Bhatta Goswami also knew that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not an ordinary sannyasi or sadhu. So what he did, he requested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that, can I please give you a personal servant in, in the form of my son? So let please my son serve you in all the services that you need. So Gopala, 7 years old boy, he started doing all the menial service to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He would massage the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet and legs. He will do his laundries. And whatever Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu need, he would supply those things. And it was very simple services, but he was doing with a lot of devotion and so much sincerity. And that pleased the Lord. So the one lesson we can learn here is that when we do some menial services with intense emotions and sincerity, that can please the Lord. So after that, one day, there was a very historical discussion was happening between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Venkata Bhatta. So normally Venkata Bhatta, as you know, that he was a Sri Sampradaya, because Sri Rangam temple is in followers of Sri Sampradaya. So Venkata Bhatta was a follower of Sri Sampradaya. So they have this Lakshmi Narayan worship. So Venkata Bhatta was a believer of that Lord Vishnu is the highest, topmost. And they understand that Krishna, Rama, Narsimha, all those incarnation come from Lord Vishnu. So many people have this understanding as well in India sometimes. And they had this understanding because we see that Krishna takes birth, divine birth, but they understand that he takes a birth in Vrindavan, Mathura. Lord Ramchandra takes birth in Ayodhya. Narsimha takes birth from pillar. And Vaman Dev takes birth from the nostril of Brahma. But Narayan, he doesn't take birth. He just appears. So this is their understanding. But in reality, we see in Bhagavad Gita that Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam. So Krishna's birth is also divine. He appears transcendentally. So while they were having a discussion, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after a very few days, he started a discussion. He said that if Narayan and Krishna are same, and Lord Lakshmi is the eternal consort, she is already eternally on Lord Narayan's chest. But why did she perform severe austerities, tapasya, according to the scriptures, to enter into Krishna Lila? So he just asked that question. Why did she have to leave Vaikuntha to have the association of Krishna? It was quite a challenge. But Vaikuntha Bhatta started defending Lakshmi. He said, Narayan and Krishna are same. They are same person. So there is no unchastity. There is no unfaithfulness of Lakshmi. Because Krishna and Narayan are exactly same. So Lord Chaitanya was said, yeah, that is true. And he was very happy to hear that answer. Then he asked one more question. That okay, I agree, Narayan and Krishna are same. And Lakshmi is perfect. But why it is so that even after performing so many austerities, Lakshmi Devi was not allowed to enter into Ras Leela with Krishna and gopis. Now Venkat Bhatta was bewildered. He knew from Shastra that that is what Chaitanya was saying is true. But he couldn't answer. So he said, Lord, you are the supreme personality of Godhead. You are also Krishna. So you please tell me. I don't know. And then Lord Chaitanya started a discussion that how Lakshmi is non-different from Radharani. She is Shakti Tattva. They are both eternally existing. But Lakshmi Devi worships Narayan in Aishwarya Bhava. And Krishna's worship, all the devotees, Radharani and Gopis and Gopas, they do in Madhurya Rasa, in different rasa, different bhava. Sometimes Vasalya Rasa, sometimes Sakhya Rasa, like that. It's much more intense in that way. So then Lord Chaitanya started the discussion saying that, but in Vrindavan, all the devotees, Vrajavasis, they are doing in different rasas, like Dasya Rasa, Sakhya Rasa, Madhurya Rasa. And Aishwarya is always not present there. Even if Krishna shows his Aishwarya, people don't accept it. And he said, many times devotees in Vraja chastise Krishna, but nobody chastises Lord Narayan Vaikuntha. Sometimes Mother Yasoda brings a stick and Krishna starts crying in fear of Mother Yashoda that please don't hit me with the stick. And sometimes Mother Yashoda, just to protect Krishna, she binds Krishna to a grinding motor. So this is all the different kind of love, much more intense than just Dasya Rasa. And this is Vrindavan, he said. Krishna's friend, Sridama, Subala, Stoka Krishna, Madhumangal, all these devotees are joking with Krishna. They are dancing with Krishna. And sometimes they wrestle with Krishna. And even they defeat Krishna in wrestling. And just to show everyone in Vrajbhumi that he has been defeated, he carry those winners on his back and shoulders and carry them home. And all the gopis, they dance with Krishna as lovers. They don't see him as God. They just love him because he's Krishna, his Radha Girdari, his Sham Sundar. Once she saw that Krishna was eating a dirt. In Vaikuntha, Narayan never eats dirt. And Yashodamai was very worried that Krishna will get sick. So he asked Krishna that, why did you eat dirt? And Krishna was saying, just like a toddlers, I didn't eat dirt. So in Vaikuntha, Lord Narayan is absolute truth. But here, Krishna sometimes lies. So then Mother Yashoda said that Balram and all your friends are saying you ate dirt. So you must have ate dirt. So Krishna said, they are just angry with me. That's why they are proving that I ate dirt. So mother said that, okay, then there is only one way to find out. Open your mouth. So when Krishna opened the mouth, she saw all the universe inside Krishna's mouth. All the oceans, all the mountains, all the forests, all the planets, all the living beings, even all the material modes personified, she saw in Krishna. She saw all the 26 elements within Krishna mouth. And then she was bewildered. And Krishna also saw that. and she went into Aishwarya Bhav. She started thinking that maybe my Krishna is God. What am I doing to him? Sometimes I'm beating him, I'm hitting him. At that point, Krishna just closed his mouth. And the moment he closed his mouth, Mother Yashoda could see a beautiful face of Krishna. And their Aishwarya completely vanished. And she started seeing him as his little Lala. And she hugged him, embraced him, and started feeding his own milk, her own milk. Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita also we see that Arjuna asked Krishna that, can I see your Virat Rupa? And when Krishna showed that Swarupa, Arjuna was bewildered. And then he requested that please let me see your human-like form in form of Krishna. Even when Krishna changed it to Lord Vishnu form, he was not very happy. And the same we see in Ras Leela as well, where Krishna disappeared and then gopis were looking for him, and Krishna was in 400 form as Vishnu. And all the gopis were praying to him and saying, can you please tell us where Krishna is? And then Krishna just pointed in one direction. And all the gopis went. And when Radharani came, in front of Radharani, Krishna's automatically two hands disappeared and flute came out. So this is what happens in Vrindavan. This is Vraja. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Lakshmi, even though she was at Belavan performing lot of austerities, but she could only conceive Krishna as a supreme Lord Narayan. And because she could not follow in the footstep of gopis, she could not develop that bhava of gopis and Brajvasis. She could not enter into Ras Leela. And Venkat Bhatta, after hearing all of that, he said, all I know is that you are Krishna and I surrender to you. And at that time as well, Tirumala Bhatta and Prabodhanan Saraswati and little Gopal Bhatta, they all heard this conversation and they all accepted the Sri Sri Radha Girdhari or Radha Krishna as their supreme beloved deity and ultimate object of their love. And they all became a pure devotees of Vrindavan. So after, just like this, Gopal Bhatta was having a wonderful association of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then one day, little Gopal was thinking that why did Lord Garanga took sannyas? He is going through so much austerities. He is living very simply. He is a supreme personality of Godhead. He should not live like so simply. He should live with a lot of opulences. And then he was thinking about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Navdvip Leela. Because at that time he heard that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was wearing a lot of ornaments. He had a very long hair and was very beautiful. So he was lamenting that why did destiny made me take birth in Sri Rangam? Now people generally are very very happy if they are born in some dham. Sri Rangam, Tirupati, those places, people are very very happy. But Gopal Bhatta was transcendentally lamenting that why did he appear? Why did he was born in Srirangam? Why he couldn't take birth in Navdvip? If he could, then he would have seen Lord Chaitanya in the Navdvip with his beautiful long hair. He had heard a lot of stories of dancing and doing Sankirtan in Navdvip with the devotees. He was just crying like that. All day he was crying. And then one day he had a vision in dreams that he was at a river Ganga, he was in Navdvip, and in front of him was Lord Gauranga with beautiful curly hair, the essence of all beauty. And then he was having a darshan of Lord Gauranga. And along with Lord Gauranga, he also saw Nityanand Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu. And they both embraced Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And they were coming close to him and going to speak something in his ears. And he was very eager. And as soon as they were about to speak, his dream broke and he woke up and he just realized that it was a dream. But the ecstasy that he was feeling was very, very real just by having this vision. He immediately got up and went to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was resting. He was sitting at that time and he just paid obeisances to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as soon as he bowed down and he looked up, then he saw Lord Chaitanya's form as Shyama Sundara. He was dark complexion like a tamal tree. He was playing upon his flute for Gopal. Then immediately form of Shyam Sundar disappeared. And then he saw Lord Chaitanya as Navdvip Chandra. It wasn't a dream, it was real. And it was happening just in front of his eyes. He saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his beautiful hair decorated with his devotees, just like in Sri Navdvip Dham, with malati flowers, his brilliant golden like face. And he was very, very overwhelmed when he saw this. And then he, looking at this form, he immediately bowed down with tears in his eyes. And when he got up, he again saw Lord Chaitanya in a sannyasi form. And Lord Chaitanya told him, whatever you have seen, keep it confidential. Do not talk to anyone about this. And then Lord Chaitanya Prabhu gave him an instruction that I wish that you serve your parents as long as they are living in this world. And when they depart from this world, then you come to Vrindavan. There you will meet two amazing devotees, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswamis. And there you help them in writing literatures and spreading the glories of Krishna Bhakti. So you will make a lot of disciples throughout the world. And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked this Gopala, little Gopal, 7 years old, to sit in his lap and embrace him with a lot of affection. And there was a tears flowing from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eyes and also Gopal. They both were crying. And they both were kind of making each other bathe with this tears of loving tears. Yeah. It was very, very emotional at that time because the next day Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was about to leave from this place. So then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to continue his tour because Chaturmas was ending actually. It was ended completely. And then he continued, and with a lot of heavy heart, all the family members of Gopala Bhatta Goswami bid the farewell to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then, under Lord Chaitanya's direction, Gopal Bhatta Goswami took instruction and learned from Prabodhanand Saraswati, who was his uncle, and he was a wonderful scholar. And then he also learned a lot of things from his father's devotion, loving sentiments, and how to serve Vaishnavas. And within very short period of time, he became very famous in Srirangam. And his fame spread all over India about his scholarship and his good character. And the years passed, and Gopal Bhatta Goswami, his mother and parent, his wife, mother and father, they both left this world. And before they left, they asked Gopal Bhatta Goswami to go to Vrindavan and serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then immediately, Gopal Bhatta Goswami decided to move to Vrindavan. At that time, people used to walk towards Vrindavan. There was no bus, no flights, nothing. So he took a path to Vrindavan. And when he arrived there, he was greeted by Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Lokanath Goswami, Bhugaribh Goswami. Kashishwar Pandit was also there. And they all greeted him and welcomed him because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has already informed this Goswami is there that Gopala Bhatta Goswami will come there and assist you. So they all accepted him as his brother. And there he took the life of renunciation and deep scriptural studies and started assisting the six Goswamis. Now, there's one lesson we can learn here. So, when Gopal Bhatta Goswami was going to Vrindavan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was present in this planet. He was present there. He was staying in Puri at that time. So, sometimes he may have thought, he could think as like this, that let me go to Jagannath Puri, have a darshan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, take his mercy before I continue on this service to Vrindavan. But he gave more importance to the service than having the association. So, what we can learn from here, this example, is that service to spiritual master is more important than his personal association. So, he took that instruction, he gave more focus on this instruction, and went to Vrindavan directly. So, here, while this was going on, Gopal Bhatt Goswami was in Vrindavan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Puri, and he was thinking that I have not heard from a long time any news from Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami has not sent any news to me by any devotees or any letter like that when somebody was coming. So while he was saying that, a messenger came and he said, I have just come from Vrindavan and there is a message from Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started reading the message. And the message was that as you have told us previously, a great devotee named Gopal Bhatta will be coming. He has arrived. And there was such a celebration for all of us here. And we are so happy to be with Gopal Bhatta. And they have all accepted him as his brother. And Lord Chaitanya was very, very overwhelmed with happiness to hear how devotees were appreciating each other and how they were serving together and having a loving relationship among each other. And then I started writing a beautiful letter to Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, saying that please take nice care of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So there's another lesson we can learn here is that Lord is more pleased when he sees his devotee having loving relationship among each other. Sometimes we become too busy in our own services, sometimes in direct services to the Lord. But here we can see that Lord becomes more pleased when there is a loving relationship among the devotees. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while sending that letter to Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, he sent few gifts for all the Goswamis. For Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he sent his own copan. He sent a belt, a garland, and a wooden sit, where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sit while doing his puja. And by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis engaged Gopal Bhatta Goswami as the Pujari of Radha Govinda Dev. And they were all living together and serving. Then one day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in dreams of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And he told him that you should worship Shaligram Shila. And Gopal Bhatta Swami immediately next day, he went to the Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami and told that I am the Pujari of Radha Govinda, but I had a dream that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told me that I should worship Shaligram Shila. Then they said, okay, if that is the instruction by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then you should do it. Then, based on the instruction, he went to Kaligandik River, which is in Nepal. That's where we find all the Shaligram Shilas. So he went all the way to Gandaki River in Himalayas. There he collected 12 Shaligram Shilas. There is another elaborate story as well, how he received the Shaligram Shilas. But in the time limit, we'll just continue on the next story. So he received the Shaligram Shila and brought it back to Vrindavan. And there he made his life and soul worshipping this Shaligram Shilas. And one day, a very great devotee came, was very charitable, very wealthy, and he was giving ornaments, deity dresses for all the Goswamis and all the temples there, like crowns, flute, necklaces, clothes. I remember that whenever sometimes some devotees go to Vrindavan, we always say, please bring a nice dress for our Gaurnitai. And when they bring, we try and dress deities on Janmashtami or some festivals. We become very happy. So similarly, this Gopal Bhatta Goswami also thinking in this way, that he also gave this dress, extra dress and all the deity paraphernalia to Gopal Bhatta Goswami, because he didn't know that they have Shaligram Shila. And generally Shaligram Shila, we don't dress so elaborately. We keep some little paraphernalia, but dressing is not possible to the extent which we can do in deities. So he said, I have this paraphernalia. I wish he had a Damodar Shila. So he prayed to the Shila and said, I wish I could dress you nicely. I could put this flute on your hands. And said, if it's your wish, then please manifest in form of Krishna so I can decorate you nicely. So that day, it was a Narsimha Chaturdashi, and he prayed like that. And just like how on Narsimha Chaturdashi day, Lord Narsimha Dev appeared out of a pillar, a stone. Lord also appeared from the Shaligram Shila. Just like we can see, I'll just bring picture. And there was a very beautiful jubilation on the next morning, on the Purnima day. Because as soon as this Gopal Bhatta Goswami woke up, he could see that Shaligram Shila, one of the Shaligram Shila, Damodar Shila, he manifested into three bending form of Lord Krishna. And he immediately ran to Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. And they all came and saw this Krishna, and they were amazed with this. Because in Gaudiya Sampradaya, there are three truths that are very, very essential. And it's a part of a Vedic knowledge. We see it in Chaitanya Chandra, Lord Chaitanya Prabhu himself explained that Sambandha, Abhidya, and Prayojana. In previous, the six Goswami series as well, we have seen one of the presenter has mentioned this. Sambandha, Abhidya, and Prayojana. These are very, very powerful and important as part of any Vedic knowledge. And it is very, very important as well. Like Sambandha, it is to establish our relationship with Krishna and to be attracted to Krishna and away from all material distractions of this universe. It is like Sambandha. And the Sambandha deity is Madan Mohan. And our Sambandha Acharya is Sanatan Goswami. Similarly, the Abhidaya is to engage in spontaneous loving devotional service to Lord. And Govinda Dev is a Sambandha deity in our relationship with the Lord. And Raghunath Das Goswami is our Prayojan Acharya. And Radha Gopinath is a Prayojan deities. And when this Goswamis, when they saw this Radharaman deity, they haven't named at that time, they saw all these three deities manifesting in just one form. Like Madan Mohan's lotus feet was exactly same for these Radharaman deities. And they saw that Gopinath's chest and hands playing flute, they were exactly same as Govind Dev, as Gopinath's deity. And the beautiful face of Govinda Dev was exactly same in the Radharaman deity. So all three deities were in just one now here, Radharaman. And because this deity manifested around Nidhivan, where Lord Krishna decorates Radharani during Ras Leela, that's why this Goswami is named this particular deity as Sri Radharamanji. So the meaning is the Krishna who gives pleasure to Radharani. So he serves Radharani there in this form. So now Gopal Bhatta Goswami made his service. There's another photo of Radharamanji where you can see very clearly all the features like face, hands, and legs. So this Gopal Bhatta Goswami made his service of Radharaman his very life and soul. He was serving them very nicely every day. And he knew nothing but Radharamanji. Every day he would meet other Goswamis at Radha Damodar temple. And there he will have a very intimate association. They will have a lot of kirtan. They will take prasad together, and they will share a lot of Krishna Katha. They will do some writing as well. And they will discuss about different books which they are going to write. And they discuss about how we can share this knowledge of Bhakti Tattva with other people. And they will also discuss about how we can excavate some holy places based on the Shastra. Now, the same place, Radha Damodar Mandir, Prabhupada also stayed. And many devotees who go to Vrindavan, they make sure that they visit Radha Damodar Mandir. If somehow they have very limited time, they can't go anywhere, they will just make sure that they go to this Radha Damodar Mandir. Prabhupada also used to say that Radha Damodar temple is the center of universe for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And then Gopal Bhatta Goswami would go back wherever Radha Ramanji is arranged. He will go for his service. And then later on, at one point of time, a very beautiful temple was built for Radha Ramanji. And he would sing a lot of bhajans for Radha Ramanji there. He would make very nice offerings in Bhoga. He would offer artis. So he would do a very elaborate deity service. Sometimes he would dance for Radha Ramanji. So that's how he made Radha Ramanji as his life and soul. But many times he would also miss Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he will think that my parents in Sri Rangam, before they left, they instructed that I should serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So while serving Radha Ramanji, he would always think about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He would meditate on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So one day, while he was thinking like that, the Radha Ramanji personally, directly in front of him, manifested the form of Lord Garanga. The same deity from this Shaligram Shila manifested Radha Ramanji for some time, manifested it as Lord Garanga. And this Gopal Bhatta Goswami was very, very happy. And sometime, immediately, it just transformed back into Radha Ramanji. So he was convinced at that moment that when he is serving Radha Ramanji, he is also serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let us look at some literary contributions of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So we have seen some books which is written by Gopal Bhatta Goswami. One is Hari Bhakti Vilasa. So this book is a very, very important book. It shows the lot of etiquette, Vaishnava etiquettes, what to do, what not to do in terms of finer details in serving the deities. So that is authored by Sanatan Goswami and Gopal Bhatta Goswami. It is also mentioned in Gaon Ganodar Dipika that in Krishna Lila, Gopal Bhatta Goswami was Guna Manjari in Krishna Lila. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami also have written a forward of Sata Sandarbha, which Jiva Goswami finally compiled. So he gave a lot of inputs in contributing to Shata Sandarbhas. Then he also written a commentary on Krishna Karnamrita. He also created a book called Sat Kriya Sar Deepika. So this book shows all the rituals which we need to do at a different stage, and how to do it, what rules to follow, like Vivah Sankar to Garbhadan Sanskar to the Antyeshti. All the rituals which we need to do at different stages of life, he has mentioned in this book. As a devotee, how we can do it, what we need to do. And here are some pictures of Gopal Bhatta Goswami's Bhajan Kutir, which is at Radha Kund, the blue picture. And then there's another picture which is his Samadhi Mandir, which is at Radha Raman Temple. So once what Gopal Bhatta Goswami was traveling and preaching in one place, and a man came to him and told him that I have no child, please bless me so I can have a child. And then he had a son. And that person was very, very grateful that he offered his son to be a full-time assistant to Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And this person's name was Gopinath Pujari. and he became one of the priests for the Radharaman deities. So many of his descendants today also serve Radharamanji in the Radharaman temple. So these are all the information I wanted to share on Gopal Bhatta Goswami. I'll stop my screen. If there is any questions or comments or any additions, devotees there.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for enlightening us about Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Very nicely you have elaborated why Lakshmiji didn't took part in the Rasa Leela. That was very nice to know. And about the obviously two lessons, which you have nicely explained that, service, the instruction of the Guru is given more priority than his association. And also that Lord is more pleased when there's a loving relationship between the devotees among themselves. And also nicely explained about how he personally took the seva of Radharamanji, and he did completely his life and soul in serving the deities. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Anyone have any add-ons or any questions for Prabhuji? Okay.
Prabhuji, sorry, there
Yes,
is
Mataji.
also this Agni, right, in the
Yes, in
kitchen of
Radharaman
Radha.
temple. Yes. So they brought this Agni from the Srirangam temple originally. In the same fire, they are continuing in Radharaman for cooking for the deities. So since last 530 or 40 years, the same fire is continuing there for deities Bhoga. They use the same fire.
Okay, thank you,
Thanks
Prabhuji.
for mentioning the Mataji. Yeah.
Okay, I think that there's no other questions. We'll end the class here. Thank you so much once again, Bhajan and Prabhuji. We all
Thank you.
say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Bhajan.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare